All right, class. So it's the first time I'm doing this, so bear with me. I've never made a podcast. I've never been to the vlogs or anything like that. But it's something that I think hopefully will help you guys out. First of all, let me say, you know, I miss you guys. I really do. I miss teaching. It's weird to think that we're not going back to school. It's remote learning for the rest of the school year, guys. And honestly, last week was kind of weird for me. I kind of didn't feel purpose, and I really miss my classroom. I really miss standing in front of you guys and trying to teach you guys. Maybe not all of you guys, but I really miss standing in front of you guys and trying to teach you guys stuff. I really miss it, and so I felt maybe one of the best ways to go about feeding that addiction is is by doing these kind of I'm calling it a podcast. Okay, so basically, your guys' assignment was give me something you want to know, something you want to learn about, and I'm gonna try my best to teach it to you guys. Today's format's just gonna be me talking to you through a podcast. Otherwise, I might actually make like videos of how to do things outside. Hell, I even give you guys a little tour of my house, okay? Because we're not allowed back on campus. So I asked the question, what do you guys want to learn? And so far, haven't gotten everybody's responses, but it seems like most of you guys are concerned about this virus situation, right? And it it seems like that's of course on everybody's minds. So this whole virus situation is of course concerning. You know, for the past month before spring break, I I kind of I was telling you guys about it, right? We watched that movie Contagion, which I'll get back to you. Don't worry, we're not Contagion level yet, but it was something that I knew was gonna shake up the world. It was something that I knew was gonna be a big deal. I think I compared it to 9/11. Before we left for spring break, I think I made that comparison. Guys, it's bigger than 9/11. The way that it's going to change our society is beyond anything I've ever dealt with. My dad is 80. My dad just made 82 years old, and I asked him point blank, Dad, have you ever seen anything like this? What's happening? What's happening? And he said, No, no, Matt, I've never seen something like this before. Just the way that is changing everything, the way we go about our daily lives. Um, so I don't want to scare you guys too much. As of right now, the death toll is not too bad. Daily amount of cases is rising, okay, but the potential for catastrophe is there, and so it's something we need to take seriously. And again, most of you guys uh, commented back that you want to know a little bit more about what to do and where to go from here. And so that's what I'm going to be talking about today. I'm not going to be talking about this every day, but of course, if you guys have questions, feel free to ask. Okay, so COVID-19, okay, coronavirus. Okay, we've been hearing that just nonstop, everywhere you go. Okay, one of the questions I had, let me just pull it up, was how did it start off? Okay, and everybody should know the answer to this. Okay, we talked about it in class. It started in China. Okay, and it started at one of these wet markets. Basically, I thought it was bats, but apparently they traced it back to a pangolin, which is like a kind of looks like an armadillo, I guess you could say. But somebody ate a pangolin, And supposedly that's what started off this virus. And so it originated in China. Now here's the problem: is a lot of people want to just focus on why did China do this? Why China? Okay, that's not going to help us. Okay, did China screw up? Yeah, China probably should have been a little bit more open about what was happening. They should have been more open that, hey, we have some cases. Maybe you guys should think about not letting Chinese people in. Okay, during that time. But some people want to focus on China and just be like, hey, screw you guys. They ain't gonna help us. Not at this moment. Okay, because right now the US has more confirmed cases than China. I want you guys to think about that. We have more confirmed cases of COVID-19 than China. Okay. So even though, yeah, maybe it was China's fault on how it started off, it's now the US's fault on how it's spreading. Okay, and that's something we need to take into consideration. Okay. Had another person respond. I believe the question was someone else asked basically like, why is this such a big deal? There's not a lot of people dying from it. um, why are people taking it so seriously? Why are they shutting everything down? Why is everything just kind of going to crap? um, Businesses are closing, airlines are closing. Why is it such a big deal if it's not killing a lot of people? And that's where the misconception is. As of right now in the US, our death toll is not very high. But yesterday we had 800 people die. I believe it was 800. Let me double check. I'm not even sure. But in places like Italy and whatnot, right now they are averaging about 7 to 800 people a day per day dying. Okay, and they're a very small country. Now, one of the main things about this virus that makes it really scary is that it's not that deadly for most. Okay. You see, a virus is very deadly. Something like Ebola. I think you've all heard of Ebola. Um, it's a deadly virus, but it's not a very good virus. The purpose of a virus is to spread, right? Think of a computer virus. Any think of a computer virus, right? The whole intention of a virus is to spread to as many hosts as possible. And that's what makes this virus so dangerous is that for a lot of people, they might not feel symptoms. And so it allows it to spread and spread and spread and spread and spread. Um, and it's deadly enough that it will kill some people, but it's not deadly enough that it stops it from spreading. Okay, so going back to Ebola. Ebola is a kind of crappy virus because the problem with Ebola is it's so deadly that before the host can spread it, they die. Okay, and so Ebola is a very scary virus, but if you notice, it can be contained pretty easily. Okay, we only had like maybe there was a Ebola almost outbreak a few years ago, and I think we only had like less than a dozen cases in the U.S. Okay, total. Okay, less than 12 people got Ebola. Some people recovered. Okay, but it didn't spread because again, the virus kills the host. Okay, the thing with COVID-19 um, is that it again, some people might not even know they're sick, and that's why they're spreading it around, and it allows the virus to just kind of take over, take over the population. Okay, and that's the intention of it. Okay, and it's just deadly enough that some people are really at risk. Um, and that's why I told you guys, right? I told you, stay away from your grandparents. Stay away from anyone susceptible. because they are very vulnerable to this virus. And for you guys, you might be fine. It might feel like a bad cold, or even a flu, but it's not the flu. Okay, for people that are vulnerable, this virus can kill them. Okay, people older than 60, this virus has a 60%, or sorry, not 60%. People over 60, this virus has a 20% mortality rate. Okay, and so really be careful around the older people in your lives, because I don't know about you, but if I got my parents sick, it'd be rough. It'd be rough. I wouldn't be able to live with that guilt, if something happened to them. So, I think the question I got from the most people was, what can we do about this? And that's what I really want to focus on right now, is give you guys a little bit of information about it. But what can you do? I don't know, honestly. I I wish I had an answer to that, but I don't think there are any good answers. Like I said, I asked my dad, who's 82 years old, Dad, have you seen anything like this? And he said no. And what that means is none of us know what to do right now. Okay. What I do know we should do is stay home. Okay. Don't go hanging out with your friends. Don't go out hanging out at parks or whatever. Okay. Stay home. Now the reason for that is, okay, the reason why we're shutting everything down, the reason why we are closing up these stores and restaurants and parks and services, is so that everyone can stay home. And hopefully what we can do is let this virus take what is called a flat curve. Okay, right now we're on a trajectory where it's spiking. Okay, especially in places like New York and California and New Jersey. Okay, and that the reason why is everybody's catching the virus at once, and it's spiking up. Okay, the amount of cases spiking up, and the amount of people needing to go to the hospital is spiking. Okay, the reason why we need to stay home is we need to flatten that spike. Okay, instead of going up, we need to make it so that everybody kind of catches it. Okay, but not all at the same time. Okay, I know it sounds crazy. Like, what? We're supposed to catch it? Yeah. Basically, what a lot of experts believe is most of us are going to catch it. They believe that up to 70% of the population is going to catch this thing. But if we all catch it at the same time, what's going to happen? Boom. It's going to spike. And our hospitals can't handle that. So that's the reason why we have to stay home, okay, as long as possible. Stay away from people. And that way we catch it, but at different times. And now maybe you catch it, 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 but in different months at different times. And what that's going to allow us to do is it's going to allow our hospitals to be able to take in people. Right now, New York, they've run out of beds. They don't have beds for people because everybody's catching it at the same time. And that's why the number one thing you guys can do, okay, is stay home, stay away from people, and just be very, very safe. Okay. Now, some of you guys might be thinking, okay, Mister, I gotta go shopping for my family. Maybe you gotta go run grocery shopping or something. Okay. And that happens. I've had to go to the store a few times too. What should you do if you have to go in public? If you have to go around other people, okay. If you have a mask, wear it. Okay. Some people are saying masks don't really help. Others are saying look at the Asian countries, South Korea, Japan, China even. Okay. They've kind of contained it somewhat. And one of the big common denominators is they all wear masks. Yeah, they're all wearing masks up there. Okay. So, don't feel like you're invincible with the mask, But definitely, if you guys have to go in public, if you have to go grocery shopping for your parents or for your grandparents or something, go ahead and wear a mask. Now, it's really hard to find a mask. I've been trying for the past couple months. Remember, I told you guys about that. Okay. What I was able to find are these. Okay. Now, it's going to make me look like a hoodlum. It's going to make me look like I'm going to rob you, but it's better than nothing. Okay. So I have this. This is a bandana. And literally, this is how I go out. Okay. When I go on my Costco runs, I go out like this. Now, one layer is not good enough. Okay, I only have one layer of cloth. That ain't gonna do nothing. Okay, so what I do is grab from the bottom, just pull it up again. Bam. Kind of makes me look like a ninja. Okay, but I think for most people it makes them think I'm going to rob their ass. And so I just go into a store like this. Okay, I know it looks super sketchy. Okay. Now again, I have multiple layers. I have one layer, I have two layers, and I got like 3 different layers just to protect myself from somebody sneezing and I walk through a sneeze, right? You ever see somebody sneeze and then you're just like, oh, like, and you try to stop yourself from walking through the mist, right? This will help prevent against that. Another thing it prevents you from doing, right, is, let me try this again, right, is I'm more aware of my face when I'm wearing this thing. Okay, I know I have something weird over my face, and so it prevents me from doing this, right? Right, prevents me from like touching my face. Okay, and maybe that's the number one reason to wear a mask is, okay, it's gonna prevent you from constantly touching your mouth. Me, I have my beard, right? I'm always touching my beard. If I got a mask on, I know I can't do that. Okay, so I find myself not touching my face. Okay, so I bought a 12 pack of these bandanas. Okay, I bought a 12 pack for like, it was like $10 off Amazon, and they still have them. They still have them in stock. All it is, guys, is just like a sleeve. I mean, you could just wear a shirt sleeve, I guess, and just put this over. But it's just, that looks kind of cool too. No, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Okay, so that's another thing you can do is buy a mask, bandana. Use that when you go in public. Basically, the number one thing you can do is just not get sick right now. Do whatever you can to not catch this thing. And again, what we're trying to do is flatten that curve, right? We don't want spikes, okay? We want to flatten that curve. And again, don't throw parties. I got neighbors up the street, man. This past weekend, I came home, okay? Just had my baby daughter, really happy about that. Was wearing this thing all through the hospital, right? But anyways, I came home this past weekend to do some laundry because we had to stay over the weekend at the hospital. And I drive up and there's all these cars. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? Like, there's no parking on the street, right, by my house. I'm like, what is going on? The house up the street from me, man, they're throwing like a first birthday party. I'm like, what are you guys doing, man? Don't do that, okay? Because what happens is when all these people get together, they could just be spreading it to each other, just spreading this thing. And we don't need that. Just stay home, man. Stay home. It's the number one thing you can do. Number one solution. Stay home right now. Okay. Now, it's kind of a long video, so I'm going to maybe make a part 2. But another thing I really think we should focus on is this. Hawaii's going to get hit real hard. Even when this is over. Even if we found a cure tomorrow, Hawaii, we're going to get hit hard economically. Okay. There's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of people out there that are losing their jobs. I believe last time I heard, in the month of March, I believe there were 32,000 people. 32,000 people in March who lost their jobs, who filed for unemployment. Okay. In a way, the cure of staying home, shutting down businesses, is almost as bad as the virus itself, right? But it's not. We need to do it. Otherwise, people are going to die. But the thing is, a lot of people are losing their jobs. So a very simple thing I want you guys to do, and this is going to be next week's project, is be good to each other. You know, I always try to I always try to tell you guys to be positive people. I always try to tell you guys to be good people. I'm trying to teach you guys to be good citizens, good people. But right now, you're more so than ever. You need to be good to each other. Okay, and how can you do that? Okay, be good to your parents, always. Okay, but also your neighbors. Okay, real quick example. This one was really kind of a tough one. But I was at Walmart, and there was an older lady in front of me, and she looked really scared. Um, and she was trying to use her charge card. She didn't know how to use it correctly. And so I'm waiting behind her, and it's taking a while. She didn't know what to do. She didn't have enough money, cash wise, so she had to use her charge card. Okay, and so she's using her charge card, and I'm just watching. And at first, I'm not gonna lie. At first, I was like, "Come on, auntie, kind of taking a long time here." Okay, but then I looked at her again. I just realized like she's probably like really scared, and it kind of almost hurt me. And so she didn't know what to do on the screen. You know, she's putting the card in. She's like not knowing how to touch the screen and whatnot. And so, very simple, really simple. All I did was, oh, auntie, you gotta press that button, and then you gotta just sign right here. Okay, and then press that button. I told her like that. Super, super, just basic, right? Um, I was wearing my mask too, so she probably thought I was gonna rob her. But she turned to me. She said, "Oh, thank you so much. Oh, thank you, thank you." And I looked at her. I was just like, "Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it." And the reason why that affected me, this happened like last week, and the reason why that really stuck with me is she shouldn't have to thank me like that. When that lady is looking at me and thanking me like that, it means that other people have been rude to her. Other people have been mean to her. And that's why it broke my heart. I was like, man, like she doesn't need to like thank me, or she doesn't need to like look like she's about to cry. Like like she had tears in her eyes. I'm just like, what the hell? And even the cashier looked at me and she's like, "Oh, thank you so much." I'm like, it's not a big deal. Like it wasn't a big deal. It shouldn't be a big deal. We should be doing that for each other. It should be instinct for us to do that, to help one another. But at this time, I think a lot of people are forgetting that. I think a lot of people are forgetting to be human to each other, to be good to each other. And so that's my challenge to you guys. What can you do in this tough, crappy situation? Just be good to one another. From a safe distance, 6 feet. Okay, from 6 feet. That time luckily I was wearing my mask, but I had to get close to help her push the buttons. But so here's another, kind of idea. We all have neighbors, right? You might have some older neighbors, okay? And again, these older people are more vulnerable. Okay, check with your parents, but if you have a neighbor that a little bit older, but like you see them every morning, you wave to them like, "Hey, auntie, hey, uncle," right? Um, Maybe they're running out of food. You don't want them going to the grocery store right now. You definitely don't want them going to Costco. So if you see them, just call to them like, "Hey, auntie, uncle, just wondering, do you guys need me to pick up groceries for you?" And work out something where they give you some money, right? You go to Times or Foodland or CVS. Maybe they need to pick up medication. Okay, you don't want them to go in the stores right now, right? So you ask them, "Hey, do you need anything like medication? You give me money, I'll go pick it up for you." Something simple as that. Okay, it can make somebody's day, and can even save their life. I mean, just think about it. Something as simple as just going to Longs and picking up a prescription medication for someone. Of course, wearing your mask, right? But just doing something as simple as that, you can possibly prevent, someone older, more vulnerable from getting sick. Okay, and that's a challenge to you. I want you guys to think about how to give back and just be good. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, again, if even if there's a cure tomorrow, we're gonna be feeling the effects of this for years. Economists believe that by the time this thing is done, 250,000 people could be unemployed in Hawaii. I want you to think about that. We only got like 1.3 million people in Hawaii. That means a fifth of our population could be unemployed. Okay? We're not going to get through this by being assholes to one another. We're not going to get through this by being rude to one another. Okay? What's the one rule in my class? Think about it. Give me a second. Pono. Right? Pono. Respect for everyone, everything. And another Hawaiian word is aloha. Just showing aloha. Right? Just showing love to one another right now. That's what people need. We don't want to revert back to a purge. We don't want to just be bad to one another. Use this time to be as positive and optimistic as possible, because it's a really dark time, and the only thing that cuts through dark is light, right? The only thing that cuts through darkness is hope. It is that light. And that's what we need, guys. We need you young people. We need you young people to step up right now and really be a role model. Be a role model in the sense of just being good to one another, and show these boomers, show these millennials. Remember, millennial guys, millennial, not boomer. But show us that, hey, you guys are better than we give you credit for. Show us that, hey, you guys are the future. And I've said it before, man. I believe in you guys. I believe that you guys have the capability to solve all the problems that the boomers created, even my generation created. I really believe this, your generation, Generation Z, the Zoomers, can do big things. And let's start off by just being good to one another. So that's the end of my, sorry, kind of long podcast. Again, I'll try to make a few of these a week, and basically just let me know what you guys think. You guys take care, and have a good one.